Sweet Baby Inc. is filled with activists who constantly cry victim. Instead of actually listening to our criticisms around their company, they completely ignore our feedback and say that we're ists and phobes and that we are harassing them. And that is exactly what is going on right now because Kim Belair decided to go to the XOXO festival and she talked for 20 minutes about how gamers are so mean. And we've started a harassment campaign allegedly towards Sweet Baby. And of course, right there, I'm one of the creators they highlight. But before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, the people at SBI love to play victim. I mean, it's a narrative that is nauseatingly old at this point, and instead of simply talking about how she disagrees with gamers' backlash towards the company and she would love to be able to sit and explain what they actually do, she knows that she's been caught in 4K altering and censoring games. She knows that gamers do not trust her, and she has this 20-minute almost TED Talk where she constantly complains about gamers and also content creators like myself, where she cries about backlash that she and the team has faced, saying that, oh my gosh, we've worked on so many games that were so popular, like God of War, Ragnarok, and Spider-Man 2 and Alan Wake 2, and these mean individuals are simply attacking us, which of course, she doesn't want to have a genuine conversation about the criticisms we have, given they turned the comments off, they disabled the dislikes, not very shocking, but it's her just spewing complete and utter lies. I mean, she's a narrative designer, and oh boy, she sure is designing a narrative of victimhood here. I don't plan to play this whole entire thing, but of course, she loves to bring up how they're really not that big of a company and how they've really only worked on about 80 games, even though liars on the internet claim that they've worked on over 200. But yes, even though you've only worked on, let's say, 80 games, we are not talking about just small indie teams. We are talking about you working with Xbox Game Studios, Sony Santa Monica, Rocksteady. We're talking about you working on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. We're talking about you working on Spider-Man 2 and Alan Wake 2 and God of War Ragnarok. Like, we are pointing out that you have affected the end content that we have gotten, and you're not working for just indie teams. You do have influence within this industry. And she tries to claim that, oh my gosh, people are trying to silence us. And she says she's lost her voice. But unfortunately for them, they didn't lose their voice. What happened was people just stopped listening to them. But it's also not entirely true because she literally is speaking to an audience at a festival. So, how exactly did she lose her voice? Who knows? She brings up on this screen some quotes that she found that were particularly bothersome. Sweet Baby Inc. are basically a branch of BlackRock that consults on ESG and gaming. Basically, if you want ESG funding, you need to pass the scores by this company. Every AAA American game studio has been outsourcing their game writing to this shitty ESG obsessed company. And then if you ever thought every modern AAA feels written by exactly the same people, it's because they basically are. Yeah, the individuals within the industry love to claim that they are all for diversity and inclusion, but it's never diversity of thought and opinion and creative processes. We see time and time again people who do lean more conservative be blacklisted from the industry and be shunned. And these activists do not sit here and say, whoa, wait, we support diversity of thought. They are fine with those conservatives being pushed out of the industry simply because they do not align with these activists' political opinions and ideologies, which is just disgusting, in my opinion. But instead of just simply saying, hey, listen, there's content creators online who do not not like what I've said or do not like what I've done. They're allowed to have their opinion. I'm allowed to have mine. She targets us. And it's not even just me. As you can see on this screen, there are a ton of content creators here that she has decided to bring up. We, of course, have It's a Gundam. We have it's just so funny to me. We have Hypnotic. We have Clownfish TV. We have Yellow Flash. Rev Says Desu. There is Okayel. There's a plethora of content creators here who simply have criticized Sweet Baby Inc. And that is not illegal. I'm allowed to sit here and criticize what a company is doing. But to make it even worse, not only did she just decide to go on this unhinged rant that, yes, was uploaded online, she talks about Elon Musk and about how this evil rich man is targeting her company because back in March he had made a post saying Sweet Baby Inc. is an evil blight on the gaming industry. All they do is make games terrible and try to cancel people. They cannot go broke soon enough, and she really takes that personally, which it's not a lie. That's the thing, is that when Gamergate 2 started and Cabrutus made Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, or now it's known as DEI Detected, he simply had said this is a list so that people can be educated, so that people can understand what this company is doing and how they're affecting video games. And it spans, far beyond just Sweet Baby Inc. But if you are somebody who likes Sweet Baby Inc., you're an activist and you want to support SBI, you could go down this list and you could purchase all of these titles. The reason why she's angry is because it's not working for her anymore. The grift is up. She followed in the footsteps of people like Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn during Gamergate 1, but she's not seeing people sit here and defend her tooth and nail like what happened with Feminist Frequency. The media was completely behind FF. And while, yes, a lot of media outlets did initially defend SBI and narrative consultation companies, that's not really happening anymore. A lot of them are silent because they see the voice that gamers have and how we are willing to speak up when we are upset about something, when we are not happy about the content that is being put into video games. And it is true, all Sweet Baby Inc. does is try to cancel people. They targeted Cabrutus when he made SBI Detected. Chris Kindred and the whole lot of them, like Felix, wanted his list removed from Steam and also his social accounts to be deleted. That didn't work. That blew up in their faces. But we also just had recently seen an SBI employee admitting their goal is burning the games industry to the ground. This is why people hate Sweet Baby Inc. They take a game, they infect it with their ideologies, they ruin experiences, and they hate us in the process. They expect us to open up our wallets to buy their trash, and it's not working anymore. People are sick and tired of purchasing and monetarily supporting activism filled slop. And at the end of the day, she's saying, oh, we've been targeted by this harassment campaign, when all their employees are doing is starting a harassment campaign against content creators and gamers. And that is what she is doing by getting up on the stage, and she's boasting about how they've worked on so many big games, but they happen to take some flack for it. They faced harassment because of it. Harassment and criticism are not the same, and I as a content creator and you as a consumer are allowed to criticize these individuals and their decisions. So it will be interesting to see if Kim decides to make another statement now that she's brought herself a lot of negative attention by compiling these thumbnails together, and she's basically targeting any content creators who do not like Sweet Baby Inc. But I also am going to be keeping an eye on their website because I did just talk about this in another video. It will be linked down below, but Sweet Baby Inc. completely redesigned their website to remove their client in games list as well as hide their woke agenda, which I do think this is all kind of a coordinated effort to try to go into lockdown mode. Because she made that statement, then the website was redesigned, and maybe they will add the client and games list back, but I highly doubt so. I'll be keeping my eye on this situation, but for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.